June 3rd, 2025. General Hospital sees Willow Tate facing off with Michael Corinthos in court this week, and there are bombshells dropping all over the place. And one of these may absolutely crush Willow and her plans for the future. We're going to talk about all the truth bombs and how Michael may blow up Willow's life before a twist changes everything. General Hospital custody battle. Michael's ruthless strategy and bombshell revelations. Alright, so this week is absolutely explosive. On Tuesday, we've got Michael and Willow and their supporters and lawyers headed into court to kick off this custody battle. Then on Wednesday, Michael takes the stand, and he is prepared to be ruthless. Lots of others are on the stand, as well as both sides are fighting tooth and nail to each get full custody of Wiley Quartermain Corinthos and Amelia Grace Corinthos. So this week, Michael has already vowed to break Willow down to nothing to get his kids away from her. Michael just told Christina Corinthos Davis Kate Mancy that the kids are emotionally unsafe with Willow because she's in so deep with Drew Kane Quartermain. And then Christina was talking about her moving the kids all over the place, out of the gatehouse over to Nina Reeves and then now in with Drew. So it's going to get really ugly soon. And Willow is absolutely stunned in court. And of course, Drew and Nina are going to be there at Willow's side along with her sketchy attorney, Rick Hurst. In Michael's corner, of course, we've got fierce attorney Diane Miller along with Carly Corinthos, Spencer Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, and Sasha Gilmore. And I'm sure Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan will also be there to support Michael. Shocking courtroom drama, adultery, drugs, and Carly's explosive accusation. So right now, Diane is pretty confident because she can say in court that Willow committed adultery and Drew was drugged and doing body shots off a hooker, and he went viral with the video. That's why Michael was able to get that emergency custody ruling. But all hell breaks loose and lots of dirty deeds are revealed this week in front of the judge. And in a moment that may be intended to cause chaos, Carly snaps and yells out in the courtroom that Nina drugged Drew. Now, technically, she didn't. But she did pay the hooker Jacinda who drugged Drew with drugs that Portia Robinson Brooke Kerr provided. But she was definitely in the mix. This may surprise Drew to some extent. I mean, he knew Portia set him up, but I can't remember if he knew that Nina was involved. I don't think he did because I don't think Brad Cooper Perry Shen did, and his info came from Brad. Of course, Willow will be horrified on General Hospital. And the question is why Carly brings this up because it almost seems like that might actually help Willow. So why? So if Rick is ripping apart Michael about his parents, Sonny the mob boss, and Carly the insider trader, it could be that she speaks up to accuse Nina, to make it clear that Willow's mom is super sketchy too, to level the playing field. However, Carly might have another reason for screaming out this accusation in court. Sasha's breakdown and the cheating scandal. How will it impact the custody battle? So this week, Sasha takes the stand for the custody case. We'll know immediately if Rick knows she slept with Michael. And on the stand, Sasha is getting really stressed out. And then she goes into premature labor. Of course, Michael is going to run to comfort her to get her through this. That's his baby. His visceral reaction could expose the truth, or if it's already been hinted at with her testimony, it could confirm it. So, Nina might still be sitting on the secret that she knows Sasha Gilmore and Michael hooked up that night. But Rick could figure it out based on how Sasha's going into labor fears this intense trigger from, Michael. I mean, the question is why would Michael care so much about Sasha unless he had stakes in it? If Sasha and Michael cheating is exposed that out came before Willow slept with Drew, then Carly may expose Nina's ketamine secret to make it look like both sides of the family have dirty laundry to air. Maybe Carly thinks at that point that she needs to just throw bombshells that will get her son at least joint custody rather than Willow getting sole custody, which is the worst outcome as far as the Corinthos family is concerned. So Sasha breaking down on the stand, and the early labor looks like that's happening on Thursday, or at least begins on Thursday. Nina's confession, Carly's confrontation, and the lingering secret of Drew. And then on Friday, Nina confesses to something. And it might be that she knows about Michael cheating on Willow with Sasha. We'll see if that's it or if Nina confirms or denies Carly's accusation about the ketamine. I mean, why would Nina admit to it? No matter what the other woman says, unless Carly has tracked down Jacinda and gotten a confession or somehow traced the money, only Brad knew about Portia's involvement. Again, I don't think he knew that Nina was involved. And it was really just Carly's guesswork that even implicated Nina. If you remember that conversation with him from like 3 weeks ago. So Brad shared with Drew that Portia had been like reverse blackmailing him, and he got the ketamine, and we'll see. So by the end of the week, Carly is confronting Jason, no doubt, for lying about the baby's paternity, and it's her grandchild. Of course, Carly's going to rant. But Jason was doing his level best to protect Michael. And they couldn't trust Carly with it because she would have blabbed. You know, she always does. She messes everything up. Anytime anybody has a plan, Carly shows up and barrels through the wall like Mr. Kool-Aid and screws stuff up. So of course, when she saw that viral video of Drew and the hooker, Carly went over to see Nina, and she was gleeful and assumed it was her. But Carly probably also knew that was ammunition she could use against Nina at some point, and just tell Willow if she felt like it. And she's got no loyalty there. Willow's fate, betrayal, hope, and the potential for a joint custody deal. So Carly may out Nina if Sasha and Michael's one-night stand comes out. And with all the dirt coming out, Willow may still actually come out of this in good shape. Although she starts the week in court feeling pretty crushed and down. Of course, Drew is going to reassure her. But with Diane, aka Killer Miller, destroying them on the stand, bringing up Willow's affair and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure Diane is going to drag Drew as a bad role model. Kind of a perv for sleeping with his niece-in-law, and then him running around on drugs with a hooker. So Will is going to have to defend Drew. But then things take a turn when Rick gets Sasha on the stand and basically stresses her into early labor, is what it looks like. Once the truth comes out, Willow should go from feeling crushed to hopeful. But the news that her mom drugged Drew is going to crush her all over again. General Hospital. Joint custody agreement. Good news is Rick and Diane will probably have to settle for joint custody, and this battle will end soon because everybody's looking bad. Drew may prod Willow to push for full custody. But I don't think she will. And I'm guessing Drew will think the Sasha and Michael cheating reveal is key to them getting full custody and taking the kids to DC with him and Willow. But this reveal about Nina and the ketamine may really shake up Willow. And in the end, she may just decide to stop the circus, tell Rick cut a joint custody deal, end this embarrassing ordeal we're all going through. Plus, Willow is going to be reeling when she finds out Sasha is carrying Michael's baby. That's still going to hit her pretty hard. As shocked as Willow might be, she may also be a little relieved. Because this kind of puts her and Michael on even footing. They both cheated. The ultimate secret. Will Drew's past with Willow's mom be revealed? But will that one last secret finally come out? You know, the one about Nina and Drew. So, will he go ahead and clear the air and finally tell Willow that he was banging her mom before her? Because Cody definitely knows it. So, that is still looming and could come out at any time. So Drew may tell Willow and say it was a means nothing rebound fling after he and Carly broke up. And then he got to know Willow, fell in love with her, cut Nina off, and she was jealous, and that's why she's done all this to break them up. I mean, Drew might go full scorched earth. And of course, we all know Willow believes whatever Drew says, and you can bet she's going to slap out at Nina over this. So, the custody case may take the back seat, and they work out the joint stuff. Because Michael is going to be at the hospital for Sasha and his baby. General Hospital. Michael at Sasha's side. Since her son with Brando Corbin Johnny Walker died not long after she gave birth, this is very risky. So, Michael is going to be at Sasha's side worried about the baby. Willow is going to be kind of crushed and reeling from what Carly says. She's going to find out that Michael and Nina both betrayed her and her former friend Sasha too. So this could have Willow feeling all alone, which means Drew can sink his claws deeper into her. He's going to come out of this looking like he's the only person Willow can trust, which is kind of scary. Christina had it right this week when she said to Michael that Willow, when she's with Drew, is a lot like when she was with Shiloh. You know, brainwashed and not really thinking for herself.